in this district that they would prosecute. I think that's not very clear, and we're going to
Okay, item 15.
Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council expressing their policy concerning ritualistic animal sacrifices. Councilman D'Angelo.
There we go. Mr. D'Angelo.
Mr. Chairman,
Floor is yours.
even though that we have the state law prohibit animal sacrifice, a legal opinion from the Attorney General and the city ordinance, I felt that this resolution is worded to make sure that nobody's violating our city law or state law in practicing animal sacrifice, which again is against the law. People from the so-called church have stated time and time again in radio and television that there will indeed we have an animal sacrifice as soon as this coming weekend. I think the city council should be very firm on this. I think we should be very firm, starting from the administration, police department, and other authority, and make sure that Mr. Pichardo or anyone else not violate our law. I think this is our duty as elected official to make sure that Mr. Pichardo not violating our law. Mr. Pichardo also has to make the accusation, accusing me to be the only one against his religion. If that is religion, I respect all religion, and I have nothing against to anyone who believes anything they want to believe. But yes, Mr. Pichardo or anybody else need to obey by the law, and we're here to enforce it. And the authorities and police department, they should enforce the law, make sure that no animal sacrifice will take place. If they've done so, I think this city council and the administration should resolve that the seagull rendered to them, because they comply with all requirements, should be denied, should be closed down, it should be pushed out of the city of Hialeah.
Chairman. Yes, Mr. Nunez.
John, I sympathize with the colleague that has brought this ordinance before us tonight, because I really see no need for us to be acting on something like this, except that we're not getting the necessary enforcement from administration. All that needs to be done is for the laws that we have on the books already and for the opinions that have been rendered to be carried out. We have a sect that says that they're going to do, in defiance of the law, the sacrifices that are prescribed. And I think all we need to do is to have administration enforce the laws that we have. If it's necessary to do this, I will go along with it. But I will go along with it only to symbolize that I am completely and totally opposed to this type of activity in our city at all. And I think it should not be before us. It should really be just enforced with the laws that we have in our city. That's what we need, enforcement.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mejia is requesting, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Go ahead. The question would be to Mr. Nunez. Does he know that they have violated any laws as of this moment?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, through the chair,
Yes, Mr. Nunez.
The gentleman has advertised that he's going to conduct sacrifices. When anybody says he's going to commit a murder, you send somebody out and you arrest them. That's what you do.
Mr. Mayor, one thing is his symbolism, and the other thing is the law. The law has not been broken. An individual has said, and I have not heard the individual said that he is going to break the law. We will definitely enforce the law as the charter of the city.
That's what we're asking for, Mr. Chairman. Is
We don't,
compliance.
Mr. Nunez, the mayor has the floor. You want to say. I think that to make an accusation that administration has not enforced the law, I think it's total lie and it's total out of order. Those individuals could say anything they want, but it's my understanding that they have not had any sacrificing of any animals in that facility yet. If they do, I believe it's a misdemeanor and the attorneys can handle that. It's a misdemeanor and we will definitely abide by the laws of the state of Florida that indicates that there will not be any sacrificials of animals in the services of any religion. But Mr. Nunez, it is my understanding that they have not violated any laws yet.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mr. Nunez.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I have not said that they have violated any laws. I have merely stated that we have enough laws on our books that can be carried out and that need enforcement. The last time that we dealt with this item, the mayor said that he didn't think he could enforce laws. And we asked for an opinion, and we got an opinion from the Attorney General, and the opinion is here. So we need nothing further to be able to enforce these laws. We have the law in the books.
Mr. Chairman, I can speak for myself very loud and very clear. I have never said that we cannot enforce the law. At the time, we wanted to get a definition and a clarification from the Attorney General. We did get that, and since we have gotten that opinion, or that indication of what can be done and what cannot be done, I believe that the laws have not been broken yet.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Mejia. Mr. Chairman, that's for Mr. Mejia.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Mr. Chairman, I have seen through the newspapers several accounts of what Mr. Pichardo said, and I believe that it's up to this city council and administration to tell Mr. Pichardo the fact that on the city of Hialeah we do not allow goats, pigs, etc., etc. On that type of zoning, it's illegal. Also, a slaughterhouse is illegal. I don't know how come he said that he's going to conduct this type of sacrifices when in fact in our book of ordinances it's prohibited to have it on the premises. If he have any of those animals on the premises, he's on violation of the law, and then action should be taken against him. For him to say that he's going to conduct animal sacrifices, I am totally against it. I do respect his religion, but the fact is that Mr. Pichardo, instead of defying the law, you should go through the court, Mr. Pichardo, all the way to the Supreme Court, but as far as we're concerned on the city of Hialeah, let's quit playing games, and let's quit telling the people that you are going to do this or that because you're not allowed to do it. We have speed limits on Okeechobee Road, and you stop those speed limits, you're going to be thrown in jail. And that's why we have a police department, and that's why administration should enforce the laws. And I believe that when somebody defies the law in the way you did, then it will be up to our police department to make sure and to have surveillance on the place, so if you have any one of these animals, then you will be served with a warrant and a notice that you are not allowed to do it. And that's up to administration to do it.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Pichardo is here. I have not heard from him tell us that he's going to violate the law. Maybe he would tell us now that he is going to be violating the law, and then we would have to...
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Yes. First of all, to all my colleagues, the resolution is aimed to send a very strong message both to Mr. Pichardo and to the police department that the city council means business and we're going to enforce the law. If Mr. Pichardo is here, I would like to hear from him, and I would invite him to come in and say if in fact he intended to have animal sacrifice this coming weekend as he has stated in television.
As per Councilman D'Angelo, Mr. Pichardo here. Will Mr. Pichardo like to come forward and answer Councilman D'Angelo? Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I want to make sure that we understand that we're going to conduct business in a proper manner. Mr. D'Angelo has just asked a question to Mr. Pichardo. Sir, would you state your name and address for the record?
Mr. Chairman, point of personal privilege.
Mr. Mejidas, Mr. D'Angelo has the floor.
Just what I said is point of personal privilege.
Go ahead.
I'd like to say, Mr. Pichardo, that we might disagree, but we don't have to become disagreeable. We're in a free society, and the demonstration that is at 9, you come here and you speak to this council, and we are willing to listen. But the law is the law, and everyone must abide the law.
Thank you, Mr. Mejidas.
Okay,
Mr. D'Angelo, sir, would you state your name and address?
Jorge Duarte, I'm counsel for the church. I want to make an observation.
For what church, sir?
The church of the Lukumi, Babalu, Hialeah.
Thank you. I did not mean to make a joke out of it.
Yes, you are, Councilman.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Some order there, please.
I need some order. My intent was not to make a joke. Just for the record, we must know who is this gentleman representing. He representing a church. What church? We need to know what church.
I have a glass of water here.
Yes. Mr. D'Angelo had a question, and we requested the gentleman to, is Mr. Pichardo, the gentleman with you?
Yes, the gentleman is with me.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, Mr.
The
D'Angelo.
answer is that there is no law in the city of Hialeah prohibiting animal sacrifice, that the resolution that you're going to pass tonight does not have the force and effect of law. If you want to prohibit animal sacrifices, why don't you pass an ordinance, council people?
We have.
You're not passing an ordinance. You have mirrored state statute. If you want a specific law prohibiting animal sacrifice in the city of Hialeah, then pass it. Stop hiding behind resolutions. Stop religious persecution.
May I respond, Mr. Chairman?
Sure, Mr. D'Angelo.
Sir, can you move over? I'd like to look in the face. Council, in response to you, please, we have some order in here. Mr. Chairman. Council, Council, in response to your remarks, we do have an ordinance. We approve an ordinance on emergency base, and we have the Attorney General opinion, which stated clearly that animal sacrifice, even for religious ritual, is prohibited. What else did you want?
Mr.
Attorney General,
I would like to
you could
request
pass
city
an ordinance.
attorneys to stay within the council range. Thank you. I didn't see you. I'm sorry, Mr. President.
By the way, I'm not familiar with any procedure that's here to subject anybody to any kind of interrogation. I don't know what the format is. I don't know what the agenda is. We're here merely as observers, and also everyone here is to record this continuing process of religious persecution in violation of the First Amendment rights to the Constitution of the United States of America.
Well, Council, Mr. Pichardo has said repeatedly in radio and television that he wants to debate with me. This is the forum for you to debate with me. I'm asking you the right question. Do you say that you're going to have animal sacrifice this coming weekend? Yes or no?
I don't have to answer that.
You don't have to answer that question?
That's right, I don't do
You take the fifth? Go ahead.
Mr. D'Angelo, I don't have to answer that question, do I, sir? Especially when you've been using my name.
Please.
Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, I stated when we started this whole procedure, we're going to conduct business in a proper manner. If you want to say something, you can come forward, say it on the record, but I will ask everyone, please do not shout from the audience. Go ahead.
Mr. D'Angelo, as I've stated before, and this will be the last time I state it, and that is that in the Church of the Lukumi, Babalu in Hialeah, will continue to exercise our religious freedom until you do something different and the law states different. In the meantime, I do suggest that if you do respect freedom of religion, begin to exercise that, sir, and respect our rights.
Mr. Chairman, I still have the floor. Mr. Pichardo never denied you civil rights.
Stop the religious harassment, Mr. D'Angelo.
I never denied your civil right or your constitutional right. You can believe...
You are denying it. You're trying to prohibit it from day one. You didn't want this church to open, and now you're trying to prohibit its progress.
Let me answer you, Mr. Pichardo.
Therefore, you are interfering, sir.
Okay, let me answer you, Mr. Pichardo. I'm not against your so-called religion. You can believe anything you want to believe. If you want to believe that America performs miracle or performs miracle, it's fine with me. It's fine with me. What I'm trying to say, and I have been saying all along, that animal sacrifice is illegal in the state of Florida and it's legal in the city of Hialeah. And you keep on saying that despite the legal opinion from the Attorney General, despite the city ordinance that we approved unanimously in the City Council, you're going to conduct your ritual animal sacrifice. Isn't that true, Mr. Pichardo?
Mr. D'Angelo, once again, we will continue our practices and beliefs set forth in our form of worship, and you would have to, sir, demonstrate legally in a courtroom that it's different.
Including animal sacrifice.
Including a legal opinion, Mr. D'Angelo, does not constitute a law, sir.
Including animal sacrifice.
Including animal sacrifice, sir. You have a Butterworth opinion which does not constitute a law, sir.
Okay, why don't you challenge the opinion before you start having animal sacrifice, Mr. Pichardo?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a comment on behalf of administration. The police department in this city abides by the laws of the state of Florida, not only that of the city of Hialeah. Whenever you get a citation for a traffic violation, it's because you're violating one of the state laws, and we do make arrests on that. We are relying on the opinion of the Attorney General of the state that is law until challenged in court. If there's any violation of those precepts presented to us by the Attorney General of the state of Florida, we will enforce those statutes. We will go to court, and at that time, then they can challenge whatever they want to challenge. I have been informed by the state attorney's office that if there's any animal sacrifice, whether it's here in Hialeah or anywhere else in this district, that they would prosecute. I think that that is very clear, and whether or not an individual says they're going to run a stop sign or not, we cannot act until they do run the stop sign. But once they do, once we catch them, then we're going to prosecute. We're going to go and make sure.
Mr. Chairman, to expound on what the mayor stated, I'd like to state that there are a few ways to legislate. This body has the authority to legislate, and it becomes law after proper public hearings. On the course, the judge, when they make a decision, they are writing legislation, whether you believe it or not. And also, State's Attorney General of Revenue, and the General Attorney for the state of Florida, when he legislates, is law. If you don't like what he said, if it's not in agreement with you, you get the system of law in this country is the greatest, and you may challenge that. But in the meantime, you must abide by the law, and that is the law.
Thank you. Mr. Nunez, who wanted to say something?
Chairman, I think that everything that we said, all we need is to enforce the laws that we have already.
Motion to approve a resolution, Mr. Chairman. What other resolution did you want, Mr. Judge?
Yes, this is the resolution that I'm presenting tonight, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion to approve a resolution.
Restates policy that has already been stated. I'm going to second the motion.
Second, the motion to approve the resolution, and you got a copy? Want to read it for the record?
In the package, Mr.
I know that, but Mr. Chairman, just very clear again with the list. If there is an animal sacrifice there, there will be people arrested, correct?
That's what it's been.
If they're in violation of the state law,
The City of Hialeah Police Department has the instruction that if any laws in the City of Hialeah are violated, that those individuals will be dealt accordingly. If it calls for arrest, they will be arrested. If it calls for release on site, they will be released on site. If they're called to be taken down to the Dade County Jail, they will be taken to the Dade County Jail. We will be working very closely, not only with the state attorney on this issue, but we'll also be working with the Attorney General of the state of Florida. That's the law until that opinion is challenged.
Do we expect undercover operations, Mr. Mayor? Can we expect phone tappings, Mr. Mayor?
We got divulged. I love debates, and I have not debated this issue. We will not tell you, Mr. Attorney, or anybody else what the police department will do in this case or any other cases, because we do not discuss investigations, and you ought to know that. Gentlemen, there's a motion by Councilman D'Angelo and a second by Councilman Nunez to approve a resolution. Any further comment from this council?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Martinez.
Before we vote on this, I must say that I have debated Mr. Pichardo on 4 different occasions in both languages, and I really don't believe this is necessary, but I will vote for it when it comes up for a vote. However, one thing that does bother me is something that I read or maybe seen in a newspaper, and that was coming from our police chief, that he stated that it would be very hard to even find out if these people were breaking the law. That definitely bothers me, because if someone is breaking the law, he must have a way to find out if they are in fact breaking it and arrest these people if they are breaking the law. So I don't like hearing that or seeing it on television, and I think it's wrong. If our police chief is paid to do a job, he has to do it.
Mr. Martinez, if the chief of police or the acting chief of police does not do his work, he would then be dealt accordingly too. Good.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Echeverria?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Mejidas?
Yes.
Mr. Nunez?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.